Hi, my name
Wait
is...
a minute. Okay.
Hi.
Now we're rolling.
Hi. My name is Yuri Turchyn.
Okay, let's start it one more time.
Hi. My name is Yuri Turchyn. And we just did a BobFest show honoring Bob Dylan's birthday at the Count Basie Theater. It's the 9th year I'm participating, and the 17 years since Pat Guadagno started it by himself at a bar in local Red Bank, New Jersey. And somebody yelled out, "Hey, it's Bob Dylan's birthday, and play some Dylan songs." And Pat did exactly that. He astonished himself that he knew any at all, and I'm sure that Pat just probably exaggerated that because he knows every song in the world that's ever been written since the 14th century. He knows madrigals and all these church things. Tired Horses are the greatest musicians produced out of the Jersey Shore area, and I love playing with them. I love performing with them. They bring a spirit and life, a musicianship, a consummate professionalism to these performances that I get to do only with them, usually only once a year. We opened up the show. The set was Ballad of a Thin Man. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, boom. Very powerful song, and the lyrics evoke what Dylan always says. He's a protester. He's telling you stories. He's always telling you stories. The 1965 era was when Bob Dylan transitioned into playing electric guitar, which he was initially criticized for by his fans. But Bob never did what others wanted him to do. He did what Bob wanted to do. And he did a great job.
There were a couple of songs by Mary and Steve, and then one by Mary. Could you please talk about that?
Well, they were sung by Mary and Steve, both together and separately.
Okay, but please start with the sentence. You know, just not answer me. That's the problem. I have to
say that.
Okay.
That you want me to do a sentence.
I want you to do a sentence.
Otherwise, you're telling me this, and then I do it, and then it's not a sentence.
I'm asking you to do a sentence.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. The sentence is... Well, I'm doing the same thing. We have, as part of the Tired Horses, two people that I very much admire. They sang Gates of Eden together, Mary McCrink and Steve Delopoulos, both of whom have, of course, separate careers in music. Steve's had his own musical career as an original writer and player and performer, and Mary is a consummate singer, and they did Gates of Eden.
Beneath the trees of Eden,
McCrink is the voice, the female voice of the band. She adds harmonies within the context of what the songs are. Mary is a consummate singer, adds so much to the band with her personality and voice. She has such passion for the singing that she does, not only the melodies, but what the story says. And you can watch her and believe every sentence, every word, every lyric that Dylan wrote in late at night on his typewriter, which he always did. And Mary just takes that typewriter sheet, pulls it out of the typewriter, puts it in her hands, and makes her own. Yes, the Casey man, the crazy Casey man on accordion, he did a wonderful job. Pat did mention that there are 9 verses to this song. On the album, Dylan, I think he does 11, it's on for 11 minutes. So I think we beat him. We did an extra, Pat said he found an extra 2 verses. Now, the guy is already dealing with words of a vast amount of writing and memorizing Dylan's lyrics. And he doesn't use cheat sheets. He may have a little bit of like prompters, like first lines of a verse or something, but other than that, it's all passion. And he did 11 verses, and I think we beat the Dylan version in time. guitar player, consummate guitar player, electric and acoustic, and vocal. His nickname is the Mayor of Red Bank. He's been with Pat probably ever since they were growing up together. They've been in every I would say, what's the word? Permutations of every kind of band and style there's ever been. And they play together, not only in a band like Tired Horses, but they do gigs together as a duo occasionally. But Richie brings a grit and a gutsy sound to the band's music, or the Dylan music on the whole. He's just great on guitar. And one thing that he mentioned was one of the tunes where Mike Bloomfield was the guitarist on one of the two albums we mentioned, and had a distinct signature sound and performances on each song backing up Dylan. So Otto or Richie just picked that out and made it perfect. Richie is, I think, a gritty guitar player to begin with. He likes to be loud, but in the tasteful way. Overdrive the amplifier, in other words, get that electric, distorted sound. It's prevalent in almost every guitar player that plays rock and roll or blues. But his is a different, I don't know, I can't explain it exactly, but it's very musical, it's very tasteful. His voice has a certain panache to it when he does the blues, when he sings the blues. And Outlaw Blues was a signature song for him to do. I don't know what it was that prompted me to want to do this, but normally I just play fiddle and violin, or within that context. I don't say anything, I don't sing. This year I asked Pat if I could perform on guitar and sing Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, in my own interpretation. And he, when I gave him the recording that I did at home of my version of it, he was very gracious. He said, "Yes, we'll put it in the set. We'll get it to. We'll have it. We'll have it." Even though it's not on the two albums, either of the two albums, but I just felt that I could add to the show in a different way. On Don't Think Twice, I reharmonized the song from its simple three-chord aspect that Dylan wrote it in, and to more of a. I played nylon string guitar and did it in a bluesy, jazz blues version, almost tinging on Latin, not fully. But the choice I had for the backup musicians were, of course, the drums, bass, Joe Belia and Phil Rizzo on bass. But what added an incredible texture to it was Jeff Casey on organ, B3 organ. and it was a real B3 organ on stage, not a synthesizer with a sound like that. This was the real deal, and he played it really well. We had Arn Wentz on it, playing acoustic piano, and Richie Otto on his inimitable electric guitar sound, and I think it was wonderful. And I felt great. The audience response was incredible, so I must have done something well.
But ain't no use sit and wonder why me. If you don't know by now, and it ain't no use to sit and wonder why me. It don't matter. At the break of dawn, look out your window and I'll be gone. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's all right. Goodbye is too good a word, so I'll just say farewell.
do Hurricane. It's about Reuben Carter. Dylan wrote this epic song, and it seems to become a staple in our repertoire. It necessarily doesn't have to be on the albums we're covering that year, but it doesn't matter. It just it shows that Pat knows a lot of words. And when he gets through it, he goes, boy, is that a lot of words. I got it. I did it. So for the last 4 or 5 years, I think, or since 2010, we've done it. So my last 5 years, it's actually been in the repertoire. And each year becomes I don't practice it. I remember once somebody saw the video from one of the years that we did and asked through the YouTube messaging system whether there was a music chart that they could get for that improv. And I wrote back and I said, it's just improvised. It has nothing to do with, it's not like a symphony and the composer wrote note for note, you're supposed to play it. This is completely improvised.
I'm the story of a hurricane.
ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my brides are gonna come. Oh no, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? That's a Bob Dylan tune.